Stonites, welcome back to the second video for grade 8 science chapter 2, living things in their environment. So in previous video we have learned about plant adaptations, animal adaptation, what is ecology, how the ecologists do the sampling and all. That has been over, and even food web also. Now our next topic is for 2.5 decomposers. Now in the previous food wave I was using a word decomposer. Now I would like to explain it here. Decomposers are the organism. They are small, some are microscopic also, some are you can see by your naked eyes also. Those organisms depends upon dead matter to feed themselves, like a parasite. They depend on those matter to take the food nutrients and they become alive. For example, maggots. You know the maggots. In those maggots also there are fly kind of thing. They depend upon those decayed plants or decayed animal, whatever left out and remain from there. They take the nutrients and all for themselves in order to be alive. So they are decomposers. So decomposers actually are important in nature if you see. Now in the food web also I was explaining, once the tiger, for example, in a food web, plant is eaten up by deer. Again deer is eaten up by tiger. Tiger, once it dies, its dead matter, dead body will start to decompose. So basically decomposers will start to eat it up. So when they are eating it up, there would be left, nutrients and whatever from the dead matters left, nutrients will be there left out. That will be again further taken up by plant in order to grow. So basically decomposers help to get the nutrients for plant so that they can grow, because plants are the only producers in nature. So because of them only consumer can eat it up and be alive. So decomposer is actually contributing huge in the particular ecology or environment. Now how do decomposer helps to decompose? For example, for us in our body, in our digestive system, there is a liquid called enzymes. Those liquid helps to break it down our big molecule into smaller. Meaning, when we are eating, for example, if you are eating a bread, so when you are eating, you start chewing it up and then it will start to break down into smaller form. And then we swallow it and then it goes to our stomach. And in our stomach there is enzymes. Those enzymes will help to break down the big molecules of whatever we have eaten into simpler form, small forms, so that those smaller forms will be converted later into proteins, carbohydrates, starch, and then that would be taken out by our body cells and will start to grow and will start to feel energy from there. So like that, enzymes, decomposer also works in similar way. Decomposer will start to break down the bigger molecules or bigger in the dead matters of plant or animal. It will start to break down it into simpler form and consume the whatever it wants to intake, and leaving out whatever is not required for its body will be left out in form of gas or nutrients, which would be further taken up by plants. So this is how decomposer decompose the dead matters or plant animals in the nature, which helps to maintain a certain ecological balance. Balance would be there because of decomposer. So from here you can understand importance of decomposer. If decomposer is not there, for example, there were no decomposers in nature, what would happen? Plant, animal, or plants or animal, whatever are dead, will start to pile up. Here will be plants, another animal, plant, animal. It will start pile up again and again, again and again. And there would be so much left that there may not be areas also. Because of the decomposer, since it is decomposing the whole matter or content of that dead plants and animal, it is getting vanished in nature. At the same time, plants are getting nutrients from it. If there were no decomposer, plants will not get nutrients from it. They would not be healthy also. And similar, because of decomposers, the one ecological balance can be maintained in ecology. So that is another importance. If and another thing also, when you see, for example, orange is there on the outside, fungus has formed. That is also a decomposer. When you see it, you would not feel like to eat it. So decomposer in a way help us to know that certain food is not good for our body to intake. That is also another importance. So there are many importance of decomposers. Remember. So our next topic is pollution. Now, what is pollution? In an environment, there is land, there is soil, there is water, there is air. These are the content of environment which helps plant and animal to grow or to adapt. Now what is happening is, because of heavy use of certain materials in environment like gases, various harmful gases and all, various harmful insecticide and pesticides used in the land, animals are getting affected. Those land are getting polluted. Water is getting polluted. Recently only you might have heard the news, in right now it has been 2-3 days, that cargo of the ship containing the oils were traveling from Japan, and in the mid-sea that ship broke, and because of that whole oil spilled out in that sea, particular sea. Now just think, because of that how many animals will die in that particular area or the region where it has happened. So that is the pollution. Because of that spilled oil, pollution has occurred in that particular sea. Now pollution means in that particular land or air or water, whatever area sources, because of the harmful effect of human activities, those things has been destroyed. We call it pollution. Now I would like to give you one example how the pollution affects the ecological balance or the plants and animals. For example, a farmer, this is land. A farmer is growing a crop in here. Now obviously farmer will put on fertilizers. You have learned about the fertilizer in chapter 1. So they will put nitrate, magnesium, whatever plant will be observing, those will be kept it in here. Now nearby the land there would be the water resources obviously. So when those fertilizers start to go from that particular land, it will start to fill to water area. Now this is water area. Since the fertilizer has gone to that lake, pond or river, wherever, so there it might be algae. Algae is the plant that usually grows in river area, lake areas and water areas. So that algae will start to intake that fertilizer and it will start to grow. Because it's getting fertilizer, it will start to grow and bloom more. So we call it algae bloom, okay, where algae is blooming more. Now since the algae is blooming more, it will start to block the sunlight from entering from up. So when sunlight is not entering inside, now plant will start to die. Other remaining plants and whatever organism is inside there, they will start to die. Producer like phytoplankton will not be able to produce the food. Now because of that, decomposer will start to breaking it down and eating from those dead plants more. Now because of that, more chemicals or more chemicals, dead matters will be available in the particular area or in the particular lake. And because of that, since the animals living in that lake or area will not be able to intake plants, or because of the decomposer, there will be insufficient oxygen for them to intake and be alive in that environment. Because of that, those fishes or whatever animals, small animals are available in that pond, will start to die. Now see, because of simple use of fertilizer, how the pollution is occurring in that particular pond and areas, and how the ecological balance is disturbed. Now there is no more animals, no more fishes, no more plants. Decomposers only are available there. Ecological disturbances has happened. So we call it pollution. So in similar way, other areas, for example, in our areas where big industries have been made, big huge industries and all, because of that harmful gases are being formed, and because of it many animals and plants, they are dying. So that is disturbing the ecological balances. That is what we call pollution, and it's very dangerous in nature. So you all be aware that your activities, what you are doing at home and all, should not bring pollution in the environment. You are the core factor who should be contributing more for your environment, so that such kind of ecological disbalance may not happen in nature. So I'd like to encourage you to remember that. So the way the pollution starts to destroy the ecological balance in the nature, because of that habitat destruction happens. Now I have told you habitat is the area or surrounding where organisms like plants and animal grows. Now because of pollution, destruction is happening in those habitat. How? What are the main reasons? Now reason why habitat destruction is happening is because of human activity. The main reason, activities like humans, population, number of people are growing so much that they don't have areas to remain in there. So what they are doing is they are cutting down trees, they are going in the areas where more animals are living, they are evacuating them and they are starting to make houses and all there. They are deforesting, they are cutting down the tree. Because of that many animals are losing their house and shelters to stay, and they are even farming in those areas, and they are making up industries and all in those areas, because of which pollution is happening, and then organisms living in those sea areas or coastal areas or land areas are getting affected. For example, in coastal areas, they are staying so much that they are moving around and they are polluting areas around there. They are using plastics and all and throwing it in the sea area or ocean area or rivers. That those plastics are getting inside and blocking up those animals staying inside, and they are not being able to breathe in properly and they die. Now because of human activity at large, deforestation, pollution, uses of chemicals and various industrializations, they are killing animals. They are destroying the habitat where animals or plants are staying. So this destruction, what do they result in? They result in extinction. Extinct, like this word, it means reducing of animal species or plant species. There are many plant species in nature, there are many animal species in nature. Now because of those habitat destruction, slowly they are decreasing in number, and it will come in such a point that there will be no more such animal, and then we call them extinct. For example, in certain countries there are very less number of tiger. If it continues to happen like that, tiger will be extinct in those areas or those countries. Like some more animals also, it's happening in nature. So if animals get extinct in nature, then our ecological balance will be very much harmful. It will be harmed in such a way, it will be destroyed in such a way that humans or we men or humans also will not be able to stay in that environment for a very long time, because ecological balance is very much needed. Okay, so that's why we should be very aware. Awareness is required to the younger generation like you all, to know the importance of not destroying habitat of plants and animals. Now how our activities is, what are the various habitat that is being destroyed? First one is wetland. Wetland is the home to many animals, like it may be for microscopic animals also, species also, or for various types of plant they grow in wetland. Now humans, they are making houses in there, they are doing their farming in there. Because of that, animals or plants staying in those areas are being destroyed or being extinct in nature. Similarly, rainforest. Rainforest is such a good area for plants and animals to grow because it's huge also, very warm also. Climate is very nice for plant and animal to stay there. Now humans activity is happening so much that they are cutting down the rainforest areas and they are building up they are trying to reduce the number in there. Now what happens? Rainforest area biodiversity of animal, varieties of animal. Biodiversity means many differences or varieties of animals and plants found in that particular area. We call it biodiversity. Now, because of human activity, many plants and animals are dying in there, getting extinct in there, and disturbing their habitat like rainforest. Similarly, coral reefs. Coral reefs, it is usually in the sea down areas. They also call it rainforest of the sea. Okay, because that habitat is very good for a sea creature or sea animal to live in. So those all animals staying in there, they have made up of colonies, and then they have started preparing one kind of ecological balance in there. So those coral reefs, they are usually made up of very hard covering like calcium carbonate. It is made up of, and there are many animals stay, sea animals. Now it helps other animals like shark and all to to depend upon each other. Like before, I have shown you food web. They depend upon there. Now, what is happening? Humans' activities like staying near the sea areas, eating and all, or ocean areas, and then throwing the waste product in there like plastics and all, not decomposable items and all, they are throwing it. Now those are entering inside and helping it to get acidified in nature. Sea water is getting more acidified, even because of the industries like chlorofluorocarbon and all harmful gases are formed, and it goes up and get acid in nature, and then when the rain comes up, those acid drains down in the form of acid rain and enter inside the sea and coastal areas, and because of that, sea water will be converted into acidic in nature. Because of that, many animals are dying. Now this is how human activity is contributing to the destruction of habitat of various animals. So, it is so happening that human population is increasing so much in nature. Like number of people, they are increasing. It happens when birth rate is more and death rate is less. Meaning, people are giving birth more and less number of people are dying. Now, because of that, population get increased. In 2012, United Nations did a survey, and there were 7 billion people around the world. By 2050, they are expecting this number will increase to 10 billion people. So if it's like this, if number of people keep on increasing, birth rate is more and death rate is less, then it would be very difficult for habitat to maintain well. Okay. Now, for example, why the human population increases? For example, if there are less disease, good number of foods and all available in nature, healthy foods and all available in nature, and very less diseases, then people will start becoming more healthy. And at the same time, if they keep on reproducing more, giving more birth, then it will lead to more population. But at the same time, if it's opposite, if there are more diseases and all in nature, then population will start decreasing. For right now is the example of decreasing human population due to virus like pandemic situation which we are going through. Many people are dying right now within this area 2020, that human population is decreasing little bit. Now, if such kind of diseases are in nature because of which they cannot cope up, or at the same time birth rate is less, then human population will be decreasing. Now, there are both pro and cons in this area. Now, how does it affect? Because of human activity, environment is getting destructed, it is getting destroyed, and many habitat destruction has been happening. For example, wetlands and all. Now, how do we protect it? Though humans are increasing in population, but still if human activities are controlled well, then it will not affect other animals. For example, wetlands. We need to protect the environment of wetlands. We need to protect the organism or plants and animals growing in there. So humans' activity like farming and all should be stopped in those areas. And also ozone layer. In our areas where we are staying in earth, above the layer, on the topmost layer, there is a layer of air, we call it atmosphere, and the toppermost layer there is ozone layer. It is made up of O3. So ozone layer, it has a very important work. It helps to block the ultraviolet ray, UV ray entering from sun to the earth. Now those UV rays are very harmful for our skins, for us, and even for plants and animal to grow. Now because of depletion of ozone layer, if that UV ray enters, then human population in the earth may be decreased. So, or it may hamper even other animal and plants also. So it's very important for us to control our ozone layer or protect our ozone layer. Now how can we do that? Ozone layer usually deplete or destroy due to harmful gases like CFC, chlorofluorocarbons, or other carbon monoxide and all, sulfur dioxide and all. These are very harmful gases produced from industries. So United Nations has signed a treaty in order to stop those industries which are producing this kind of gases. Now because of that, it has been a huge effect. Like those industries has been stopped, due to which we are expecting that might be slowly ozone layer will be stop depleting and it will heal itself. Now similarly, we need to reduce CO2 emission. Carbon dioxide, like various vehicles and all we are running, and various industries and all, where huge amount of fuels and all is being used. Because of that, carbon dioxide is emitted, and which contributes in global warming. Global warming is heat being increased tremendously in that particular environment areas, because of which the animal, certain kind of animal will start to get extinct. For example, in cold areas, if global warming happens, then snows and all, everything will start to melt, and the animals which are adapted in that environment will start to die. Now because of that, extinction happens. So it is very important for us to control that CO2 emission, carbon dioxide emission, by stopping the fuels and all, by using very less amount of fuels and all, or by stopping industries which produces CO2 in huge amount, by afforesting, by planting trees more and more in nature. It will also help to reduce CO2. So it's up to us or human how to reduce that carbon dioxide emission, how to help heal the ozone layer and stop the environment from getting polluted. So this is how we protect environment. Now by this year topic or this chapter is over, we have learned 9 subunits in here. Now I'll be giving you a few assignment along with the PPT with this video. Please complete it and try to apply whatever you have learned from this to video in your life itself also, to protect environment near you, to be responsible humans and help in contributing in society at large. By this our topic is over. We'll see you next in our other video. Till now, stay safe, be happy, healthy, and never stop learning. Thank you.